Hello and welcome to another book review of books I picked out at Target, just randomly off the shelves because I thought they looked cool and I ended up loving it. Here's You Reach Sam by Dustin Tao. Um, I, after the last book I read, desperately wanted another lovey-dovey story, but also something sad, also kind of different. This one seemed a little bit magical, a little bit spooky. And so I was like, down, we're doing this. And I didn't know it was going to be kind of like a ghosty kind of book until I got to the part where, spoiler, he ends up picking her phone call up and they end up being able to communicate through the phone. Um, so yeah, I assumed it'd be something with that, maybe, but I thought it was more along the lines of just her like dealing with grief, and then like memories and like flashbacks and stuff like that. Um, but boy, was this a good book. I really enjoyed it. There were parts like right before the end where I just felt like I was just kind of getting summary and catch ups of what was happening in Julie's life. That's the main character. Um, and she was just kind of explaining to us, okay, this happened and this happened. But I was just like, okay, I kind of wanted to see that happen. And a lot of these things that happened were like it would explain her progression in a very like fast kind of way, like again this happened, that happened, instead of like us seeing it throughout really a specific scene. I think there were scenes that tried to show that she was like progressing and trying to get over him, but I just feel like they kind of fell flat, like in the way that she kept kind of reverting back to him, and it'd be like, oh, she's letting go, oh, she's holding on, she's like, and that is very much how grief is, and like how people grieve in different ways, but it's very back and forth um at times. um but I feel like there was just too much repetitiveness of that, and I'm like, we're not progressing really in any way. I mean, it's a very good read. It's a very interesting read. The way that it's written, I think, is very well done. But there are things I think that are lacking in that department. Um, and so I would read a chapter and then I would read another chapter, and it kind of felt like I was reading the same thing again, but just with like different things going on. And I was kind of reading it just to find out like what happened next. And then when we were getting to the whole like she was getting over him, she was not getting over him kind of thing, like I just kind of let it be. And then like the phone calls, like they kind of seemed repetitive after a while as well. But they were still very sweet, very cute. And then some were like right on, like on the spot and everything. I love how Sam is like telling her like, no, you need to let me go. I ruined, basically like this is ruining your life. But then later on he's like, I'm the one who wanted you to remember me. Like, and then I kind of wanted to like have a more full circle moment with that. Like, why did he want her so desperately to remember him? Is there something that happened that made him think that? Like the last like conversation that they had really on the phone before that, he was going to like pick her up after she was mad at him. I kind of wanted to tie into that, like maybe like he like blamed himself instead of she blamed herself, and thought that somehow deep down she didn't trust him anymore or something like that. But there was like no real like tie-ins like that. I felt more like the uh I guess second-handed characters, the supporting characters, were more interesting and driving the book forward. I wanted to know more about Oliver and Mika and Jay and Yuki. Like, those are the characters I'm like, I want to know more about you right now. And then we kind of never found out what happened with Taylor. And I think it was Liam. Um, I kind of wanted like them to like somehow find out and then like use that against her, or maybe like she kind of threw something in their face like haha, like jokes on you for whatever that may be. Um and then I just don't understand like why Sam would choose them as friends in the first, like I guess they like grew up together, but at the same time it's just kind of like they're not good people, you know that, like come on. And then like there's a lot of things that Julie like said she liked and whatever and she didn't. So their relationship, the building blocks of their relationship was built on lies basically, because she would just agree that she liked something and then like they would just kind of do it. And then I guess she ended up liking some things in the end, but like I just saw her like before Oliver came out more with Oliver, because I was just like, okay, is this a potential romance blooming? Like, what is happening here? No, we're good friends. Cool. But like, I see more commonalities with him, and you're not lying to him. Whereas your actual boyfriend maybe didn't even fully know you. But like, I kind of wanted that to be like the premise of the book. Like, there's so many ways that this book could have gone instead of just kind of being like, I'm getting over you. It could have been like he was learning more about her through this. Somehow we could have like entered where Sam was, because we didn't get too much of like the why, and I know that was kind of like left up to be determined, but I'm like, why can he do this? Where is he at? There was a moment at the end where she was like the crystal was glowing. I'm like, this could have gone to a whole other paranormal type thing, and I would have lived for it. Um it didn't even have to go there, but like there's just different directions where this I think could have gone. But that being said, it still was a really good book and it all kind of just worked, but I was left wanting more of what didn't work. Um I thought the scene with James at the end was super duper cute. Um like, well, not cute, but like heartwarming that he, you know, had this argument with his brother and like he never got to resolve it. And like that's the thing, like Sam and James, they always were like depicted as like these perfect siblings, and then come to find out like they were arguing and he was mad at him and then he died. And then like I just think there's more dimension to these two characters that we didn't know, and it would have been great if we focus more on that and this be a book of discovery rather than a book of just grieving, and figuring things out that way. And then in the end, I don't even know she really got over him, because she kind of is like, I think about him here, I think, and I'm like, girl, I don't know how you let go of him. I mean, it sounds like he's still very prominent in your life, and it's just like you need a healthy balance. And I think that's kind of what this book was getting at, but it didn't really. Um, But overall, I thought yeah, it was very cute. It had a lot of good imagery in it. I loved the supporting characters. And I loved the message, even though I felt like it could have gone in a different direction and been done in a different way. And there were some really, really cute moments, like when they're like in the train and he like writes their initials, and it kind of reminded me of that one scene with Lavender from Harry Potter. Um, and then like he tries to take her places, so like she can remember him and stuff, and um like her and Tristan, I think would have been so cute, but she was just like not ready for that, which is fine. Um, their arguments, I think, were the best conversations that they had, just because they were so open and honest. Whereas the other ones, it was just kind of like, I miss you, you need to move on, but it's okay, but I miss you, and I'm just like, okay. Um, and so yeah, that's kind of where I am on that. But I really liked the whole like plot of just like in the concept of like him being able to talk to her over the phone, and then the phone breaks at the end and she's like, how can I like, talk to him now? And then she like puts her SD card in his phone, and the fact that she's like breaking into like his house and nobody's figuring this stuff out, it's just like, okay. um and and then that's how she gets the last phone call, and it just like it all works out. But overall, good book. Would recommend. Um, I flew by it. I have a lot of time to read lately. And I just felt like there were just some things I would have wanted from it. But good read. Good read. And yeah, that's my review on it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you all soon. Bye.